Do have this week's life lesson prepared that I think will be very beneficial, not only to me, but to a lot of people. I ain't gonna say to all of us because I don't know how many of you all are receptive to receiving these messages in your spirit. I just can only hope that you are receiving these messages and applying them where you need them and allowing yourself to take in the life lessons. I want to help somebody. So that's my point of doing these life lessons. I not only want to make it a priority to add towards someone else's life, but when I prepare these life lessons, I want to help myself as well. So I love to learn. I get joy and pleasure out of learning, and God has placed it in my heart to share my testimony and teach the things that I am learning. So some of the things that I talk to you guys about are a testimony of the things that God has allowed me to make it through. But I wasn't going to come on today because some of you already know that I have been knocked down by grief this past weekend. I lost someone that I am really dear to, who's very dear to my heart, and that I love. My son lost his father on Saturday, and I did not take that very well. It was unexpected for me. No matter how much you try to prepare yourself to accept these things, initially they are hard to process, depending on who the person is, because I have not been hit that hard with grief in a very long time, just because of who the nature of the person is. So I have been taking a lot of time out to take care of myself. So I didn't talk about mental health Monday because I was focusing on my mental health. So I hope you all acknowledge mental health Monday and did some things for yourself mentally, because that is very important. That's exactly what I was doing for myself on Monday, is taking care of myself mentally. So I had an amazing mental health Monday, just for hours and hours and hours. I focused on taking care of my mental health. I felt like that was very, very important to me. So I feel better. I feel better than I did on the past few days. And before I get started, let me just express my thank yous to everyone. A lot of people jumped on and expressed their condolences to myself and to my son and to the family of my son's father for his loss. And I really, truly, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for those of you who took time out to express your condolences. I needed it. Your kind words, your words of comfort. Some of you sent out prayers to us, and I am really, 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 truthfully, honestly grateful for that. I know that you don't have to be so kind. Some people weren't that kind, and some people aren't that kind. But for those of you who are, thank you. I am grateful and I appreciate it. But this message that I have prepared, this week's life lesson, I believe that it is going to help me. It is something that I feel as though that I need, that is very necessary, and not only for myself but for a lot of people. So peace and blessings, kings and queens, and welcome to this week's life lesson. I greet you with peace and many, many blessings into your life, no matter where you are, no matter what you are going through. We all need peace. We all need peace in our minds. We all need to accept peace as a part of our lives. And I know a lot of people don't have peace in their minds or peace in their life. There's an internal struggle that a lot of people are going through that is not allowing them to have inner peace. So I greet you with peace, because I want peace to be your portion today. Even if it's only in these moments, I want you to accept the reality of the fact that I haven't been living with a lot of peace in my life, but I want to be able to live in peace, to walk in peace, to eat in peace, to sleep in peace. And we always say rest in peace, but we want to be able to live in peace. I love peace. I cannot express to you in words how important my peace is to me. I prioritize my peace over a whole lot of things. That's why I think it is important for me to greet you in peace and blessings. I wish many, many blessings upon your life. We all want to be blessed. I know I do. So there's nothing wrong with allowing yourself to be open up to many more blessings, even though we are already extremely blessed. I want us to be more blessed. So welcome to this week's life lesson. We all share a common purpose here, and that is to learn and to grow. I don't know about you. That is why I am here. I want to learn. I want to grow. I want to be able to be better in my future than I have ever been in my entire life. And I find that to be my reality on the regular basis, dealing with different situations at different times and whatever I had to go through in life. And I think about the now me and the past me, and I am better. I am better. No one is perfect. We are not striving for perfection, but you want to be able to say, I am a better person now. I know how to live my life better. I am wiser now. I learned from the mistakes that I've been through in my past. I want to be better in my future. We always want to live, learn, and grow and add towards ourselves. So you're never too old, and it's never too late for you to learn and add more value towards yourself. These are things that you want to leave behind. The kind of statement that you say about yourself that you leave on this earth, or those of us with children, we want to teach our children to teach their children to teach their children, our children's children's children. Even if we don't have a whole lot to leave behind materialistically, the type of image that we leave behind to our children in this world is going to be very important. So that's why I take this time out to learn and to grow and to better myself. That is very important to me. I get great pleasure out of learning. And if you are here joining me on this message this morning, or whenever you choose to tune into it, I hope that that is your main motive as well, to be able to learn and grow, to add towards yourself, to make yourself a better person. That is my main purpose for sharing some of these messages. So feel free to open up your heart, open up your minds, and do just that. You are welcome to do that. It ain't nobody business. Whatever you do for yourself in your personal time, for your mind, for your body, for your spirit, you don't have to go tell the world that you are focusing more on yourself or bettering yourself or wherever. My personal journey in this life is between me and God, and it's between me and me. I don't blast it, put it on a billboard, or tell somebody. I just simply do the things that I have to do to focus on myself, to grow myself, and to better myself. And it's going to be noticeable. It's going to be noticeable when you are not showing up as the same person as you used to be. And oftentimes people will try to treat you as the same person or less than what you are worth, and they have to accept the fact that this is the new me. This is not even the old me that you used to deal with before, back in the day. And it's hard sometimes for a lot of people to wrap their mind around the new you. I know in my case that is the situation with me. Just recently, God, it's so crazy because God will reveal people to you, and sometimes it can be the closest people to you. And oftentimes, a lot of people don't even realize that they are being exposing themselves, or allowing themselves to be used by the enemy. And even though people are who they are and how they are, and we cannot control who and how people are, all we can do is continue to focus on ourselves. Because, baby, I have seen some people really expose themselves for who they are. You don't even have to do nothing. You don't even have to say nothing. You ain't got to pull it out of them. Some people will jump around, act like monkeys, scratch up under their arms, ooh, ooh, ah, ah, and you know exactly who you can deal with and who you cannot deal with. So I'm grateful for that as well. I'm grateful for the fact that God is allowing people to expose themselves for who they are, especially in the time of grief, the times that I'm going through right now. And at the hardest times, people will show you who they are. But I continue to work on myself. I continue to add towards myself. I will not allow myself to be diminished or affected or degraded or disrespected or whatever because of how other people are. I am my number one first priority. And that's how we should all feel about ourselves. We should be a priority to ourselves, no matter how other people perceive us in their own mind or think that they are going to treat us, because they'll be talking to themselves. They'll be arguing with themselves. A lot of people I just choose to disassociate myself from because I am important to me. So I want to learn, I want to live, I want to grow, I want to focus on myself. But before we get into this week's life lesson, of course, for those of you who are familiar with the way that I do things on Wednesdays when I am delivering these life lessons, before we jump head on into the life lesson, we are going to take time out to express gratitude. If God woke you up this morning, you are blessed. A lot of people laid down last night that did not get up this morning. You might think it's cliche. You might get tired of hearing me say that, but it's true. Life is a blessing. Life is a gift. Each day that God wakes us up, God don't have to wake us up. So sometimes we think that we are owed the gift of life, but God don't have to wake us up. Anything can happen at any given moment, even if it's not God not waking you up. It could be something else that might change your life at the blink of an eye. So we have to consider our blessings and think about how blessed we are on a regular basis, or not. You could be the type of person who chooses not to consider your blessings or think about the things that you are blessed with on a regular basis, but that is going to reflect on your life. You ain't gonna have nothing. Your life is not going to be as abundant as you want it to be if you don't learn how to express gratitude on a regular basis. You can have money, you can have whatever, materialistic things, but the things that money cannot buy, you will not live in abundance with the things that you need internally. A lot of us don't think those things are important, but things that money can't buy are more important than things that money can buy. I want peace in my heart. I want peace in my mind. I want love. I want to be able to enjoy my life, and not only the things that money can buy. I want the things that money can buy, but I want to enjoy the fruits of the spirit. I want to enjoy life on a level that I never enjoyed it before, and I am experiencing those things right now. I never ever thought that I'd be able to enjoy the level of peace of mind that I am enjoying today. From the trauma that I had to go through as a child, the things that I had to suffer through, heal from, grow through, anxiety, being diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, and all of those type of things. I thought I was always going to smoke cigarettes. Okay, so I started smoking cigarettes when I was a kid. I was like maybe 15, 16 years old, hanging out, and the older I got, I thought I needed those things to function on a regular basis. My nerves are so bad, I need a cigarette. I'm going to smoke a cigarette to calm my nerves first thing in the morning, last thing at night. I thought I was going to I thought I had to live my life with the whatever nicotine is supposed to do for us, calm us down or whatever, until I began to experience peace of mind. I was like, I don't need this. I realized, let me see, I think I'm coming up on 8 years since the last time I smoked a cigarette. And I just really don't need it. I don't need a cigarette to calm my nerves. I'm going to go through situations in life. Life is going to show up. Life is not going to always be pleasant and easy. Number one, I didn't like what it was doing to my body. It stink. My clothes stink. My hands stink. It was embarrassing. I walk in a room and everybody know that I'm the person that just got done smoking a cigarette. It became embarrassing to me. It was affecting my health in different ways. I was coughing. I had a cigarette in one hand, asthma pump in the other hand, and I just didn't need it. And while you are in the midst of these things, you think you need a cigarette to calm your nerves or a drink to calm your nerves, or you going through something and you think you need a drink. I have not had a drink in almost 11 years. My mother died and I did not have a drink. So situations are going to happen and you don't need a drink or a cigarette. And I'm not coming against anybody that drink or smoke cigarettes. You grow, whatever you do is whatever you do. But I don't want us to be dependent on those things just to think that that is the only way that we can have peace of mind, because it's not. You can enjoy peace of mind without substances. And I am living proof. So I enjoy peace of mind on a level that I have never enjoyed it ever before in my entire life. I have gotten in the habit of loving and caring for myself like I have never done in my entire life. I didn't even think that self-love was a thing. I was not taught how to love myself. Everybody hated me. That's what I thought. I thought everybody hated themselves. I didn't think that self-love was important until I learned these things growing up. So this is why there's so many reasons why we have to be grateful. If you think about your life and your surroundings and the people that you have that love you and care for you and check on you, and you have food to eat and a roof over your head, this world is big. There are people in this world who are not as blessed or as fortunate as you are, that don't have clean water to bathe themselves in, that don't have hot meals that they can eat every day. And we take these things for granted. I know for a fact that we take these things for granted. My own kids, my refrigerator can be full of food. I have a deep freezer. I keep something in there for these kids to eat. But if it ain't already cooked, or if I don't leave something already prepared, they say we don't have no food. And I come in here and fix a 3-course meal for myself, but I thought we ain't have no food. It's food down there, but you just don't want to take the time out to cook it. And you talking about we don't have no food. There are people out here that really don't have no food. Stop saying that. Stop speaking that over yourself. Stop speaking that over yourself. A lot of people think and talk about the things that they don't have, and they don't give enough credit to the things that they do have. That's why you're not opening yourself up to more blessings, because you won't even acknowledge the things that God is already doing for you on the regular basis. We have to acknowledge God for those things. We have to express the fact that we are grateful for those things, because at the end of the day, you are grateful and you are happy that you have the things that you do have, even if you don't acknowledge it or say thank you. I'm just simply reminding you to acknowledge it and say thank you for it. I know you're glad. You are more glad that you have it than you would be if you didn't have it. You'd really be sorry. You will really be sorry. Oh man, I wish I had this. I don't have the things that I need, or whatever. A lot of people don't even have the things that they need on a regular basis, not only in other countries outside of the United States, but even right here in our countries. I associate with these people all the time. For whatever reason, it can be pouring down rain, and we got such a rain on Monday night here in Delaware. I mean, it rained. And I know people that sleep outside in those conditions, that sleep outside when it's hot, when it's cold, when it's raining, or wherever. And that cannot be fun. It can't be fun. And I don't take those things for granted. I know that any day that can be me or one of my kids. So I express gratitude for me not having to sleep. When I put my key in my front door and walk in my home every night, that is something for me to be grateful for. So a lot of us don't think about it in those ways, and I am just simply reminding you of how blessed you are today. So before we get into this week's life lesson, let's just take a few moments to listen. I'll be going off on y'all about expressing gratitude, and listen, I'm very consistent with it. I mean it from my heart, and it is very important. It is not anything that we should take lightly, and I think that we should the emotion of gratitude. I think we should prioritize the emotion of gratitude, because gratitude is an emotion, and gratitude is one of the least expressed emotions. I'm like, why? Why don't people like to express gratitude? We don't like to express gratitude towards one another, and we don't show enough gratitude to our higher power, just simply for our higher power being present in our lives. So we need to express gratitude more often. And I came across that when I was doing a study, I believe, on emotional health or emotional intelligence, and I was just getting to know more about different emotions, and I learned that gratitude is the least expressed emotion. And I'm like, I don't understand why people don't like to express gratitude. So yes, I'm gonna get on your nerves about expressing gratitude every Wednesday before I jump into the week's life lesson. So here we go. You can close your eyes or not. Think about some of the things that you are most grateful for. Go ahead and lift your vibrations up. Think about some positive things and prepare yourself to receive this week's life lesson. So here we go. That's always like 100% so good to me. I had to stop myself because there's so many things that I am grateful for. I always get whelped up with emotions when I just think about the things that I'm grateful for, and it's just more and more and more and more and more things that come to my mind when I think about how blessed I am. I'm telling you, I don't think I can ever run out of a list of things that I am grateful for. So that's you too. That's you too, whether you want to admit it or not. There are so many things that all of us have to be grateful for. Whether you choose to acknowledge those things or not are totally up to you. So are you guys ready for this week's life lesson? This message is something that I have put off for a long time because of the nature of it. Because I am not a very religious person. I don't associate myself with any religion for my own personal reasons, but I am a very spiritual person. I have a deep connection with my higher power, and I think it is very important for me to stay connected to my higher power on the regular basis. I know where my blessings come from. I know why the reason why I am alive, and I made it through the things that I have made it through, and all of those things. And God gave me faith today. Number one, let me just tell you how. I did talk about how I was just like buckled at the freaking knees with grief over the weekend because of the person that I lost, that I just had to come to grips with the fact that I would never see my son's father again. So I've been catering to myself emotionally and trying to get myself together. And I wasn't even going to deliver a life lesson today. I was like, I ain't going to do it. You know, I'm going to do what I have to do for myself, focus on myself, which I am anyway. But in the midst of my day yesterday, I was like, God, you know, just talking to God. Do you want me to deliver a life lesson? What do you want me to deliver a life lesson about? So I already had it set up in my mind that I was not coming on here to deliver a life lesson today. And God said, I want you to talk about faith. I want you to talk about faith because that is something that I did shy away from because I am not a religious teacher and I don't want to be confused with being any kind of religious teacher. Not saying anything offensive against religious teachers. I am not one. I am a motivational speaker. I am a worldwide influencer. I love reading books. I love writing books. I love learning. I love teaching. They call me the professor. That's just who I am. But God said, you gonna get on here and talk about faith. And I was like, I couldn't deny it, because I know that I have never, number one, I never prepared or delivered a life lesson on faith before. I attempted to, and I stopped myself for different reasons. I was like, nah, I'm not going to deliver a life lesson on faith, because I don't want to come off as something that I'm not. But God was like, not only do I need you to be reminded of your faith in these moments while you're going through the things that you are going through, but there's someone out here that needs a message on faith. So I'm like, all right, like, how could you argue with God? And I was like, I wasn't resistant towards that. I just had to put myself in a headspace where I was able to even prepare a message on faith. I was like, just so nonchalant about it. And, I was like, I didn't think that I was going to be able to do it. But when I decided to be obedient last night, it was very pleasant. I love preparing life lessons. I love to learn. Everything don't even make it to my notes. Like, some stuff just don't even make it to the life lesson. But when God opens me up to things that I never knew before, I find a place for it in my spirit, and it never leaves. So it took like an hour of me studying for me to just lay myself down and allow myself to be used by God. I think I probably was just too wrapped up in my own emotion and grief and thinking about my child's father and all of those type of things. And God was like, don't you know that you need faith right now in these moments? And I was like, well, I do need faith. So I allowed myself to be obedient. I really did. I allowed myself to be obedient and prepare this message on faith. I needed it. I hate to sound selfish about any life lesson that I prepare, but I feel as though I did it more for myself than for y'all. And I know that a lot of people out here probably needs a message on faith as well, but I believe that God gave it to me because he knows that I need to be reminded of my faith, and I need to activate my faith in these moments. So we're going to go on ahead and jump into this week's message on faith. So what is faith? Faith is considered to be a gift from God. And I guess so. When you think about it, everything is a gift from God, if you ask me. A lot of things, we consider these things as a given. I know certain religious people do consider faith as being a gift from God. And I thought that that was a perfect way to explain it when you think about what faith is, or how do we receive faith. And I know that everybody don't have faith. A lot of people don't walk around with faith. A lot of us have more fear than we have faith. So faith is a gift from God. And when we see it that way, we are just like somebody buy you something and wrap it up all pretty and give you a pack, and you anxious to see what it is. It might be your birthday gift, it might be your Christmas gift, or whatever, or somebody might just be gifting you something just to give it to you. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you a little kid. I don't care if you are an adult person, or somebody wrap up a gift and give it to me. I am going to be excited to open up that gift and see what is inside. Because if you took time out to buy a gift for me with me in mind, I'm going to want to see what it is. So that is what faith is. Faith is a gift from God. So even if we are still walking around with this packaged gift and we don't know that what's inside of it, a lot of us can have the gift of faith and we have not even torn the wrapper off of it and opened it, or are able to enjoy it, because we still have our faith wrapped up in a box. So maybe it's time for some of us to unwrap the gift of faith and begin to use our faith. So I'm going to break down faith. You're going to hear me say faith 155 times. So if you don't like the word, don't listen. Buckle down, hold tight. That is what we are talking about today, is faith. I need my faith. A lot of people out here need their faith. Hopefully, by the end of this life lesson, you will walk away with more faith than you had coming into this life lesson. So faith Faith gives us peace no matter what the situation is. Woo, child. I needed that. Like, who don't need that? We are going to be confronted with situations in life that we are going to need. We're not going to see what's going to happen at the end of the situation. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what the outcome is going to be. These situations happen. It is what it is. Things unexpectedly. The loss of loved ones. We might be going through something, I don't know, in our finances, in our bodies, and our family, whatever, in your situation, in your living situation. Things just might happen. And we are going to have to learn how to activate our faith. So, wait a minute, where was I? Ooh, I mean, I just got excited already. I'm just at the beginning of my notes, and I am getting excited. Faith is an intentional act of the heart. So we have to be purposeful about where we are coming from with our faith. If you don't do it on purpose, then it ain't going to happen. Think of some of the things that you are intentional about every day on the regular basis. What are you intentional about? Are you intentional about, I don't know, getting up and brushing your teeth every day? You don't want a nasty mouth. You get up, take your toothbrush out, you put toothpaste on your toothbrush, and you make sure you get in there and brush the tongue and everything else, so you won't be walking around with bad breath. So we are intentional about certain things that we do on the regular basis for a certain purpose, because there's a purpose behind us being intentional. And that's the same thing that we have to do with our faith. It's an intentional act from your heart. So from your heart. So that means you have to make the conscious decision to activate your faith from your heart. That's good, right? I'm telling you, because you might not even know how to be intentional about applying faith into your life. How do I apply my faith? What do I do? How do I be a person of faith who learns how to depend on God, to look to God when things happen or whatever? How do I go about doing those things? Make the conscious decision in your mind and tell your heart that this is what we're doing right now. I'm not going to just think about what I can do about the situation and depend on my own self. And that's what we do oftentimes. And the word of God says, lean not onto your own understanding. And we are only human. Our minds are finite. And I don't think that we understand how finite our minds is. We can't see past a certain extent, but we serve a God that can see what we can't see. So it's important to be able to make the decision in your mind. I had to make the intentional decision in my own mind to be able to utilize my faith. So, yes, it's an intentional decision from the heart. We all need faith. And I just simply wrote that down in our notes because it might be some of us out there who think they too tall or too pretty or got too much money, and my family come from the Hamptons or wherever. I don't care where your family come from. They need faith and you need faith too. We all need faith. Some people think that they are so big and bad and I'm self-made and I'm the reason why I'm here today and all this stuff. You wouldn't be here if God didn't wake you up this morning. You have to have faith when you lay down. Some people go to sleep and never wake up for whatever reason. You have to have faith in God that He gonna wake you up in the morning. Come on, we all need faith. I don't care how good you think you are, that you are going through this life by yourself and doing everything for yourself, and I'm self-made, I make my own money. God made you able to make your own money. He can take all your resources away. You think you have to have people that are willing to spend their money on whatever you have to offer, your services or whatever, products or whatever. God can wipe all of them out too. You won't even have nobody to sell your stuff to if you don't know how to activate it. I'm grateful for my customers. I have had some of the same customers for years. for years and years and years and years and years that support me in different ways more than my own flesh and blood. And I know that that don't have to be the case. I'm grateful for the fact that God allows people in my life that think that it is important to support me in different ways. I'm grateful for those things. So I choose to utilize my faith now, in all transparency. At a time that I am going through right now, I'm not gonna say it was hard for me to activate my faith, because I knew it was going to be okay. I know that I'm going to be okay. I know that my son is going to be okay, even though it's hard for us to kind of wrap our minds around what we are going through right now. But I had to remind myself of my faith. So sometimes we all have to do that. So where there is hope, there is faith. And a person without hope is lost. Some people don't have hope. Some people has absolutely given up hope for certain situations, not only for their own lives, but for other people's lives too. Some people are just hopeless. So if you don't have hope, you don't have faith. Those two things go hand in hand. Where there is hope, there is faith. So you can't even have one without the other. Where there is hope, there is faith. And I did come across that during my study as well. So where my faith gives us peace no matter what the situation is. And I found that to be true as well. Faith does give you peace even in tough situations, only if you allow it to. You have to be able to seek, search, and find peace in your mind in whatever situation that you are going through, no matter how tough the situation is. So faith does give us peace in our situations. Faith is a way to have a relationship with God. Listen to this. And trust that God has your back and will help you. A lot of times we don't even think that God got our back. We think that we out here fighting these battles on our own. We think we out here, we got to argue with somebody, and I don't know who they think they talking to, and all of this type of stuff. You ain't got to argue with them. You don't have to argue. Let them argue. It takes two people to argue. Let them argue with themselves. I watch people get dealt with. I know I don't have to fight my own battles. And it takes faith to do that. It takes faith to not show up to every argument that you are invited to. I don't wish bad on nobody, but I know who I am, and I know whose I am. Let me just say that. I know who I am, and I know whose I am, and I know that I don't have to be out here arguing with nobody. And even if I do allow people to stoop me down to their level, which I try to not, I'm human, but I try to not make that a habit. At the end of the day, I know that I don't have to fight my own battles. I already know. Some people out here are fighting demons internally. And you think you arguing with that person. It ain't even me you mad at. It ain't even me you arguing at. You mad at my light. You mad at how what God is doing in my life and in my heart. You mad at the peace that I got over my mind. You ain't mad at me. You mad at the demons that you have to deal with internally, and that you are not doing the work that you need to do to get those demons out of your life. You ain't mad at me. You mad at yourself. And I know that this battle is not we not fighting a battle of flesh and blood. People are fighting a spiritual battle that they don't even know that they are fighting internally. So why would I argue with them? Why not just continue to sharpen my connection with my higher being, opposed to me arguing with somebody? I'm not even arguing with them. I'm arguing with their demons. You ain't arguing with them. You arguing with their demons. Stop arguing with people demons. And they don't have to. You don't have to deal with these internal demons. You could do the same thing that I am allowing God to do through me and for me and to me. I allow God to remove these demons out of my life. and I walk out on faith. I don't have to argue with nobody. I don't even have to go through internal battles with myself about things that I used to go through internally in my past. I don't have to fight with these things anymore. Some things, whoo, child, I am so grateful because some things God simply removed from my spirit. He got it out the way. He removed those demons. I don't even have to fight with those things. I don't even do half the things that I used to do, nor do I associate with half the people that I used to associate with, nor do I even go to half the places that if it's not serving me, growing me, making me better, making me wiser, making me wealthier, making me healthier, adding peace towards my life, I don't associate myself. The amount of things that I associate myself with nowadays is very limited. If I associate myself with you today, consider yourself lucky. And I ain't trying to sound conceited. I ain't trying to boast, and I ain't trying to brag or nothing like that. But it's still people from my past who wish that I would take more time out to entertain their demons and to entertain their foolishness and their gossip and things that happened in the past and all the things that they continue to do that I don't do no more. I am very selective about the people and things that I associate myself with on the regular basis. I have to be that way. I have to protect myself from these things, because if not, I can find myself being consumed in these things that I already knew that God has removed from my life. These demons that were in my life that I had to fight my way past. I can be consumed in these things if I'm not selective in the things that I do and the people that I associate myself with on a regular basis. I came a long way. I did. I just did. And I don't have nothing to do with people's personal walk with God or their relationship with themselves or the time that they take out to fight these demons off out of their life. What you do for yourself is your business. I have to do what I got to do for me. I can't control what you do. I can't be sitting up there talking about what's wrong with you. You still doing this and all these type of things. All I have room enough and time enough to do is focus on the things that I need to focus on for myself. So yeah, we all need faith. We all need to learn how to activate our faith, and we all need to realize and trust that God has our back and will help us. Some things I don't even have to fight at all because I know that God is fighting my battles. I can go to sleep in a battle and I can wake up and the battle is already won. The battle was won before we even realized that the battle was won. You already won the battle. Ain't no point of you jumping around hooting. My mom used to say hooting and hollering. Hooting and hollering and arguing with somebody and all this type of stuff. You don't have to do none of that. And then you be sitting up there looking stupid. Now you want to talk about, oh, I know God had my back. God been had your back. You just ain't realized that. Some of us got to have already had won the battle to realize that God has your back. God wants us to put our faith in him before we even realize the battle was already won. He wants us to proactively, ahead of time, just know going into the battle, going into the war, it's already won. God wants to know. That's what faith is. When we already know that God got our back in any situation. Don't act like you don't serve a God that already have your back, because you do. He already done fought the battle. The battle was already won. You just don't know it. You ain't see the outcome yet, but it's already done. That's faith. That is what faith looks like, when you can walk around with the attitude of gratitude, of victory, because you know that you have already won. If you do not know that by now. If you have not been carrying that attitude around by now, I am here to remind you, and I'm telling you right now that you already won and it's already done. Yes, we have to go through things in life, but those things will not defeat you. The only way that those things are going to defeat you is if you allow them to. You already go to sleep. Go to sleep. Stop taking them blood pressure pills. Stop smoking them cigarettes back to back. Now you sitting up here chain smoking. You done smoked a pack of cigarettes in an hour because you ain't got enough money to pay your rent. That rent, you ain't get put out yet, did you? You ain't got enough to pay your mortgage. Ain't nothing get turned on. I had to remind myself when I was going through some of the toughest times of my life financially, in my marriage and outside my marriage. And I stress myself out all the time because I work hard. I wasn't using drugs anymore. I wasn't drinking anymore. Times were tough for my family, and I used to allow myself to be stressed out. And as the time went by, I was like, ain't nothing get turned off. I didn't get put out, still got a roof over my head. We still eating good. We still living good. Every time that I think that it's not going to work out, God shows up in a way to work it out like I didn't even expect it to work out. And it's every time. This is every month. Put myself through the same thing, stressing out, and it works out. I say, you know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to stop stressing out. God is working it out for me anyway. I had to learn how to activate my faith because God showed up for me and continued to show up for me every single time. It never failed. So what am I stressing out for? And this is a lot of us. A lot of us are still stressing out about the same things all the time, but you made it. Just like you made it before, you gonna make it again, and you gonna continue to make it. But this time, just allow yourself to be able to make it with a little bit of faith. Stop stressing yourself out. We have to. Because when we lack of faith, that makes us stress out about things when we don't have faith. So that brings me to my next point. Just a little bit of faith. A little bit. The word of God says faith the size of a mustard seed. I don't even know how big a mustard seed is. I know seeds ain't that big, period. The smallest seeds can grow the biggest trees. Just a little bit of faith can go a long way. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. You don't even need that much. Just tell yourself one time, I know God got my back. I know it's going to be all right. And that thing is going to be like, boom. It's going to open up a whole new world on the other side of you incorporating just a little bit of faith in your life. And I know that to be true because I tried it and it works. Just a little bit of faith goes a long way. Without faith, nothing is possible. We need faith for everything. So with that being said, let me just remind you that you are incorporating your faith on a daily basis and you don't even know it. You don't even know it. You incorporate your faith when you get in your car and you driving down the street, and so many things happen on a regular basis and you just on cruise control. You got your music on, you listening. Some of us are a little distracted by text messages or whatever. When I pull out the parking lot of my home, I pray in faith. I pray in faith for my children. That knowing that God is going to already do it. That's why a lot of our prayers go unanswered, or we have empty prayers because we pray in doubt. We pray in doubt that it is even going to happen. We pray talking about, I hope God heard my prayer. We serve a prayer answering God. So we walk in faith every single day. You have faith that you're going to eat today. You have faith that you're going to make it home safely today. You have faith that you are going to survive throughout the day. Some of us don't survive. And maybe, I don't know, I might be wrong. Maybe the ones of us that don't survive are the ones that lack faith. You don't want to not survive because of your lack of faith. You don't want to not make it through simply because you don't have enough faith. You say, that's all I got to do? That's all you got to do. That's it. So if I have a little bit of more faith, things will work out better for me. Try it. Try it. Maybe I'll be more happier. Maybe I'll be more pleased with the outcome. Maybe I'll get to the end of the tunnel without me stressing on the way through the tunnel. You don't have to stress out about everything all the time. Maybe I'll just make it, period. Maybe me having a little bit of faith, activating my faith, is going to save my entire situation or my whole life, or have a major impact on myself, or my children, or my family, or my mother, or my job, or my money, whatever. Maybe I have a little bit of faith that I'm going to make it, that my bills going to be all right, that I'm going to be, my health. Maybe you suffering in your health because you not, who wants to suffer in their health? I know I don't. I cannot speak for nobody else, but that is one battle I do not want to fight. I know it happens. We all have to deal with certain situations in our health from time to time, things that are absolutely beyond our control, some things that are hereditary, that runs in our family, that our bodies are prone to, or whatever. But maybe that thing that is hereditary, that runs in your family, won't affect you. I'm going to tell y'all. I'm going to tell you, maybe that thing that runs through your family won't touch you because you have enough faith to believe in your heart that God ain't going to let it touch me. My mother died of serious heart disease, heart ill. I'm going to give y'all my testimony. Now that I talk about it, I thank God for placing this in my spirit. My mother's mother died from serious heart illness, a heart disease. My soon-to-be 26-year-old son, healthy as a horse, was born with heart sickness. They fixed his heart. They said they fixed my son's heart right next to perfect. When they fixed my son's heart, they said it was miraculous. We never seen anything like that. Multiple people in my family have died from this same heart disease that my mother died from, that my grandmother died from, that my son, to God be the glory that my son is healthy today, that was born with heart disease. I have never been diagnosed with any type of heart illness in my entire life, even with me being the age that I am now. Never been on no blood pressure medicine, not even a single sign of any kind of heart disease, heart illness, heart failure, anything in my body. Do you know how grateful I am to be able to say that? That's one side. My father had diabetes, which ultimately had a devastating effect on his life. My father's mother died from complications from diabetes. I have never had a single sign of me having heart disease, heart failure, heart problems, or diabetes. A single trace of it has never been found in my body to this very day. I don't want it. We can fight things off with our faith. I know the reality of these things that has happened for years in my family. I don't want these things. I fight them off mentally, and I fight them off by faith. It's only going to happen if you accept it to happen. I don't accept heart disease or diabetes into my life. I'm telling you this is how important it is for us to walk by faith. I am probably one of the healthiest people in my family. A lot of people in my family still to this very day fight with different ailments. And I'm not one of them. I'm just not. And I thank God for that. Y'all think I'm crazy? Y'all see me? I drink green smoothies every day. I prioritize my health. I am very active. I am a fit person. I prioritize these things. I don't take these things for granted. And I'm not going to sit up here and act like it can't happen to me. I know I rebuke these things by faith. And if there is anything that I can do in my power to not have to accept these ailments as my reality, then I'm going to do that. And if it's me implementing faith in my life, I have faith that I am going to be a very healthy person for a very long time. That's what I want for myself. That's what I want for myself. I don't think health is anything that we should be playing around with. And then we sit up here and act like victims when we have to suffer through different health ailments, but we are not doing our part. Even if you like fried chicken. I don't eat chicken. I used to I can fry the heck out some chicken. Everybody love my fried chicken. And I used to eat fried chicken. You can eat a piece of fried chicken every single day, but you can fight off the spirit of illness by faith. By faith. Don't accept that. I don't want to be something. Have me a piece of fried. I'm not saying that having a piece of fried chicken every day. I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying that it's okay. Eat you some fried chicken, but eat it sporadically. Have you a piece of fried chicken every now and then, not every day. But we have to fight off these things in faith. And I'm telling you, it works, because I never accepted any of these things as my reality, even when I was addicted to drugs and drinking and smoking cigarettes and just put myself in dangerous situations. These things did not sit well with my spirit. I was convicted in my spirit. I did not accept these things as my reality. I did not want to be consumed by these situations of life for whatever reason that I was engaging in certain activities. I had to realize that I had a whole lot of healing to do, and I had a long way to go as far as my healing was concerned. But I accepted mentally and spiritually. I always accepted that there was a better life for myself, even in the midst of some of the worst times of my life. I used to say to myself, this can't be it. This is not it. There has to be more out there waiting for me. There has to be more life, more love, more living. If I would have accepted the life that I used to live, I probably would be dead by now. I was a wild child. I ain't gonna lie. I did just about everything I thought I was grown enough to do. Am I still that way? No. And if I was still had been that way, I probably would not be alive to tell my story. So I believed that there was more life out here for me, and I began to pursue it and go after a better life. Now I am at a place in my life that I didn't even think that was possible for me. I am happier and have more peace in my mind than I ever had in my entire life that I can remember anyway. I never had this much peace in my mind. I've never been this happy before in my life. Not that I can remember, besides from when I was a child. I struggled a lot over the years, as far as I can remember. So I do these things by faith. And I know I'm using myself as an example, and I am telling my personal testimony of the things that God has brought me through as far as my faith is concerned. And I know if it had not been for my faith, I would not be where I am today. So that could be your story too. You might have the same testimony that your faith brought you to where you are today. So like I said, without faith nothing is possible. We need faith for everything. So what does your faith mean to you? I just simply wrote down that question. You know, I got to give you guys something to rumble around in your brain a little bit. Think about it. Think about that for yourself. What does your faith mean to you? Some of us might not have thought about it, gave it that much thought until they were presented with it right now, here today. But think about it. I want you to think about that. What does your faith mean to you? Maybe I'll think about that for myself. So, what does my faith mean to me? I don't think I want to live without my faith. I don't want to go a single moment in my life. I don't want to move forward. I don't want to walk down the steps. I don't want to eat lunch. I might choke on a peanut. I don't know. I don't want to do nothing without my faith. So think about that for yourself. What does your faith mean to you? It might mean more to you than you realize. You don't even realize how much your faith means to you. So I have another question. How do you show faith in your life? When situations occur or whatever you are confronted with life, things happen in your life, think about it. How do you show, faith in your life, and how are we supposed to show faith in our lives? So if you want to know, here you go. Pray and put your trust in God. That is the best way to implement your faith. And when you pray, I made this point already and I'm going to say it again. Pray in faith. Pray that it is already done. We probably don't have a lot of prayer warriors out here. We got some, but some of us probably don't pray as often as we need to. If you need God to move in your life, and whatever the situation is, which is all of us, we all need God to move in our life in a certain way as far as a certain situation is concerned. I don't know what you're going through. You know what your situation is. You know, some of us need God in some areas more so than others. That thing that is concerning you the most, the thing that you are worried about yourself the most. I don't know how I'm gonna get through this situation. This is bothering me, whatever it is. I want you to take that thing, hold it up in prayer, and I want you to already have faith written on it. Write faith on it and say, I'm praying about this thing. I'm praying about my health. I'm praying about my finances. I'm praying about my kids. I'm praying about my living situation. I'm praying whatever you praying about. You know that thing that you need to focus on. I'm praying about my marriage. I'm praying about my relationships. I'm praying over myself. You know, I lost a loved one. I lost somebody that's dear to me. I don't want to be broken. I don't want to be internally broken. I don't want this to affect me in a way that I'm not going to be able to control my emotions moving forward. I don't want to be overcome by emotions where I don't have control of the way that I feel on the moment to moment basis. So I want to pray for myself right now. I want to pray to you concerning this thing. And I'm already praying, knowing that it's done, that you are going to do it, that you have done it, that it's already done. I am going to lift myself up in prayer concerning this situation, and I'm praying in faith. That's what faith looks like. That's what faith looks like. If you never knew how to implement faith in your life, then this is one sure way that you can see faith being effective in your life if you pray. And not only just pray, but pray and put your trust in God that it is already done. That is what faith looks like. That is when you're going to see that situation unravel with grace, with mercy. Sooner or later, you're going to get through it. You're going to get past it. You're going to feel the presence of God. Even when you are alone, you ain't going to feel like you alone. I'm telling you, pray and pray in faith. Pray and trust that God has already done it. We demonstrate our faith by showing love to others. When we show love to one another, that is a sure way of demonstrating our faith in life, our faith towards one another. is when we show love to others. I love to express my love to each other. Sometimes I express it in words. Sometimes I express it, in the things that I do for people, or just showing people love. I express someone asked me, what does affection looks like coming from me? And I show people affection every single day on a regular basis. And that is the way that I show them how much I care about them, their situation, and all of those things. I was tearing myself up because I haven't talked to my son's father in a long time. Of course, I told you all that he passed away this past Saturday, and I kept saying to myself, I had to get myself a reality check about this last night, because I kept telling myself that I wish I would have told him I loved him one last time. I wish I would have told him that I loved him one last time. I told him that I loved him, and even if I didn't get a chance, I didn't know that he was going to die. If I had known he was going to die, I would have reached out to him and told him that I loved him one last time. But I had to come to reality just last night that he knew that I loved him. So I can stop beating myself up about it, because I know that my son father knew that I loved him. He pushed me to do this life lesson last night, and I wasn't going to do a life lesson at all. And I can hear him saying, cussing and just telling me, baby mama. He used to call me baby mama. Baby mama, do what you gotta do. What are you doing? I can hear him saying in my ear, baby mama, go ahead and do what you gotta do. So he's a reason why I pushed myself to go ahead and prepare this life lesson last night. And I'm grateful for the love that I had between me and my son father. A lot of people would never understand the love that we had between each other. No, I was not his only baby mama, but we did have a special bond, a special connection, and a special love towards one another. And that is a way that we can show faith. I came across that fact during my study, is that we show faith in life by the love that we show towards one another. It says we demonstrate our faith by showing love to others. So when we show each other love, that is a way to demonstrate our faith. I'm just giving you guys certain tools and certain ways and certain things. If you don't know where to begin to show your faith, these are some ideas, some things that you can start with learning how to show your faith. So faith gives us strength. Faith gives us strength, and I can personally attest to that. I wrote that down in my notes because I thought that was very important. And faith does give us strength. It gives us strength and power to know that it is okay for us to move forward, for us to do the things that we need to do. When we are feeling weak, we can implement our faith, and we can feel stronger because of our faith. So real faith makes a difference. Real faith makes a difference when no one is watching. I think that is the most important faith, when no one is watching. That is one of the main reasons why I don't associate myself with religion. I have a high respect for religion. I don't knock anyone's religion. I don't down talk anyone's religion or anything like that. I have my own personal experience with Islamic religion, because my father was an Islamic man and my mother was an Islamic woman. And today I choose, after all of my experiences with religion, I choose to not consider myself a religious person, because I believe that my connection and my relationship with my higher power is more important to me than me being a part of a religion. And I don't want to focus more on me being in a religion or satisfying a religion or doing what the religion says do and all of those things. I would rather take that energy and focus it on me having a relationship and a connection with my higher power. A lot of people are making that decision to do so. I am not alone when I make that decision. I know nowadays that is happening more than ever. And a lot of times religions can kind of push you away from religion. So I have seen the inside and outside of religion and religious people. But I'm glad that I wrote that down, that I made that point, is because real faith, I'm going to read that again. Real faith makes a difference when no one is watching. And you want your faith to be effective. You want your faith to make a difference. You don't want to just be able to say, I have faith. You want to actually be able to have faith. Like words mean nothing if we are not actually doing these things. Like, you don't even have to tell nobody that you have faith. A lot of people do a lot of shouting and jumping and hooping and hollering, and I got faith in God and all of those type of things. As soon as something happened, you a mess. I ain't gonna make it. I can't move forward. And what happened to your faith? Faith is more than just saying it. The word of God also says faith without works is dead. So if you are saying it and you are not putting any action behind those words, then it means nothing. So your real faith is when no one else is watching. So if you want to find a good place to begin to practice your faith when you are alone. Not when people are watching, or you want to show off, or you want to be able to show that you have faith. Prove to yourself that you have faith. Be humble and thankful, and let go of the things that you can't control. That is a way that we can show our faith. Be humble, be thankful. It's hard for a lot of people out here to humble themselves. Some people think that they are better than others. Those are the ones that are putting themselves in a dangerous position in life, because in our reality, not one person on this earth is more important or better than the next individual. We all were created the same. We all were created in God's image, and we all deserve to be treated with humility, love, and respect. So we have to learn how to be humble. And what does it say? Be humble and be thankful. I cannot say enough about being thankful. I already went off on y'all about how important gratitude is. I stand 10 toes down on that. I will not change my mind about that. If you have not gotten in the habit of realizing how important gratitude and thankfulness is, I wrote down thankful here in my notes because that's how it was when I was studying it. But being humble and thankful are some of the most important things that you are ever going to do in your life. You don't want to be the person who is not humble. You will put yourself in an unsafe place, because if you don't humble yourself, you will be humbled. And I have seen God humble a lot of people. And I be like, God, wait a minute, hold up. If I feel like I am showing signs of me not being humble enough, I repent. I be like, God, give me a chance to humble myself before you have to humble me. That is the last thing I want, is for God to have to humble me. Being humbled by God. See, y'all be out here playing with God. God ain't nothing to play with. God ain't nothing to play with, and you do not want to be humbled by God, because it's not going to be fun. So before you end up having to be humbled by God, I encourage you to learn how to practice to humble yourself, because if God had to do it, you going to be sorry. So being humble and thankful, that is a way to show your faith. So let things go that you cannot control, just like in any situation, the loss of a loved one or whatever. We can't control these situations, and it's not easy. You have to allow yourself to go through a process of healing. I'm just using that one thing for an example. But whatever it is, if it's something that is totally beyond your control, your loved ones, your family, your kids, they grown, they acting like they ain't got no sense. You done did all you can do to raise these kids. Some things you just going to have to let it go. Let go and let God. I know that sounds cliche, but when you do it, you'll feel better about it. Let go and let God. That is what faith looks like. Faith is the calm before the storm. It's going to be some storms. We can't help but to go through the storms of life. Faith is that quiet still moment, not expecting the storm to come, but just knowing that quiet, still moment, even if something does arise, everything is going to be okay. Faith is the anchor in the storm. Faith is what's going to hold you down. Faith is going to hold you down when you think that it is complete chaos. The winds are whipping and you in the middle of the sea and oh, listen. Faith is going to be like that anchor that is going to hold you down. You're going to be steady. You're going to be in one place. All you got to do is sit there and let that storm pass through. Next thing you know, the storm is going to be over and you are going to be okay. I promise you, it happens like that most often. Not only with me, but I'm sure a lot of you can attest to that as well. Before you know it, that storm is going to be over. How you go through that storm is totally up to you. If you allow yourself to be a person of faith, then you will let yourself be that anchor that's going to hold you down in the midst of your storm. Faith reminds us that there is good in the world, because there is. And sometimes we can think, I was just talking to somebody and they was like, everybody full of crap. Everybody ain't full of crap. Everybody that I associate with ain't full of crap. A lot of people out here are full of crap, but I don't associate. That's not my world, because I choose not to associate myself with people that are just full of crap. Even though there are a lot of people out here that is full of a whole lot of BS and a whole lot of crap, your world is going to be what you make it. There is just as much good out here in the world that there is bad. A lot of us are gravitated towards the negativity and the people that ain't worth a you know who and all of those type of things. But if you learn how to associate yourself with a better class of people, that don't have to be your reality. That's why some people I just don't associate with at all, because I don't want to try to figure out, well, what's the next bull crap they're going to come up with next. That's just not my reality. So faith reminds us that there is just as much good out here in the world that there is bad. So faith drives us to do what is right, even when we don't want to. Faith drives us to do what is right. Just know, like, we can get this quick fix or do what something that we want to do right now for that temporary gratification or whatever. But if we just give it a little more time, a little more patience, and have faith that things are going to work out, we cannot do the quick fix, the thing that we know that is not right. And we can do what is good because we have allowed ourselves to walk in faith. So faith drives us to do what is right. Faith is having trust. Faith frames who we are. Some of us don't trust nothing or nobody. Some of us don't even trust God. I do. I trust God. Some of us like to go out here and try to handle things on our own because we think that God is not moving quickly enough or whatever. And faith is having trust. And when we allow ourselves to live a life of faith, I wrote that down, that it literally frames your life and how your life, the outcome of your life, and how graceful your life is, and the life that you proceed if you are walking in a life of faith. So what does your life look like as far as your faith is concerned? Are you constantly going through chaos and something every time you turn around, arguing with somebody, something, the pipes is leaking and your brakes went out and the dog got sick and all of these type of things? And we can just have a little bit of faith in our life, and maybe it don't have to be one thing after another, after another, after another, after another. I don't want to claim over my life if it ain't one thing, it's something else. I want to accept the reality of whatever situation that I have to heal through, grow through, get through in my life, and that there is greater lying ahead for me. That is the reality that I want to speak over my life, that I want to walk in. Ain't gonna be no know if it ain't one thing, it's another for me. And y'all need to stop saying it. Like, y'all need to stop saying that, because that's when it is one thing after another, after another, after another. So the lack of faith can be devastating. Can be devastating to our lives. When we lack faith, we lose connection with our values and with our humility. So you just out here doing anything. You out here doing anything because you out here robbing people, being immoral, being spiteful, being deceitful, and just doing things that are not moral. Just doing anything because you don't even have faith enough. If I just be a person of integrity, if I just be an honest and upright person, that I don't have to be spiteful or deceitful or whatever, and shortchanging people and all of these type of things, maybe it'll come out better for you if you learn how to be a person of faith. So we don't want to lose our humanity. We don't want to lose our humanity, and we don't want to lose our values because we are not walking in faith. When you are walking in faith, you can be a person of righteousness and of integrity and of morals and of values and of humanity, and you can walk in those things even when things are not looking so favorable for you. And eventually the tables will turn and things will begin to work out in your favor, and you can do these things in faith, and you will feel better about yourself as a human being. You will learn how to implement faith in your life. You will come out better in the end if you are a person of faith. So having faith improves our health and well-being, self-control, self-esteem. It also reduces things like, now listen to this because I did not know this. It reduces things like out of wedlock births when you are a person of faith, crime, drug and alcohol use, health problems, and anxiety. When you are a person of faith, this is the effect. It can reduce these things from playing a major role in your life when you are a person of faith. I'm going to read those things again. Out of wedlock births, crime, drugs and alcohol use, health problems, and anxiety. So having faith will reduce all of these negative things as playing a major role in our life. Listen, if you grown, your kids need to hear that. Your kids need to hear that. Your grandkids, listen, sit somebody down and tell them how, and so they won't make the same mistakes you made. Tell them how important faith is, because I don't want these things to happen to you. I know I made these mistakes. I know maybe my faith wasn't where it was supposed to be, and I suffered through a lot of things that I suffered through because I didn't have enough faith in my life. But I don't want you to suffer in the ways that I have to suffer, and I'm going to tell you the importance of it, and I'm going to tell you why. Sit somebody down and run that list down to them. You might be saving somebody's life. It might just be somebody in your family. It might be somebody that you love. It might be somebody that's close to you. It might be your next door neighbor. Listen, I see you walking down a wrong path. You're a little bit younger than me. Come here and sit down. Listen to your old head. You know how they like to call us old heads. Sit down and let me tell you a couple things, because I see the road that you are headed down, and I wish that I would have incorporated a little more faith in my life when I was your age, and I probably would not have had to suffer through a lot of things that I had to suffer through if I had just a little more faith. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to just have a little more faith in you. You don't have to be out here doing some of the things that you're doing, because it can end up really bad for you. A lot of people are damaging their lives. They are devastating their lives. We're going after the wrong things. We should be chasing after faith. Just like you running after somebody that you ain't got no business running after. Running after that money. Running after the car. Running after the clothes. Or running after keeping up with the Joneses and all these type things that you ain't got no business running after. We need to be chasing faith down till you got faith in a headlock. You don't need to go nowhere without your faith. Your faith should be with you everywhere you go. That's going to help you. It's going to benefit your life. When you can say, okay, this is happening. It has happened. It is going to happen. But I got to have faith. I have to have faith that it is going to work. Y'all, this is something that happened to me. What I'm going through right now, yes, I'm going through it right now because my son's father died. But I had to implement my faith. I had to activate my faith so much in the past couple weeks because certain situations had arisen in my life. And every situation that arose in my life turned out for the best for me. And I believe not only because of God, is because God gave me the courage and the strength to activate my faith. I'm telling you, it works. So sometimes faith is all you need. Sometimes faith is all you need. You might not have nothing else. You might not have no money. Your husband might be somewhere you don't know where he is. Them kids probably ain't doing right. Whatever. Your job acting, you want to quit that job, is getting on your nerves, but you still got to go in there because you got to pay your bills or whatever. Have faith that God has more in store for you. That don't have to be the end of your story. Because when you have faith, that's when doors begin to open for you. That's when things begin to happen for you. We shut the door on faith. How you going to get blessings? How is anything going to come through a closed door? A door that you can turn the knob and open up yourself and allow faith to come in. Don't shut the door on your own faith. Open the door on your faith. And let faith into your life. Because sometimes faith is literally all you need. Faith is all you need to get through. Faith is what you need to get through what you need to get through right now. Note to self. So exercise your faith. Use your faith as a weapon to fight your battles every day. Every single day. This ain't a sometime thing. This ain't a once a month thing. This is an everyday thing. Pray every day and pray every day in faith. Use your faith as a weapon to fight your battles daily. You are going to need it. Stop trying to fight these battles yourself. Y'all out here trying to fight battles that you don't even have enough strength or power to win by yourself. You out here trying to fight by yourself. And that's why you keep fighting the same battle over and over and over again. Because the battle ain't for you to fight by yourself. You need to be fighting these battles in faith. You need to be fighting with faith. Don't fight with nothing else. Don't fight with your hands. Don't fight with your words. Don't be out here cussing nobody out. Don't fight with your money. Don't fight with nothing else. Fight in faith. Fight with faith. Fight with faith. That you can, if you can imagine what your weapon might look like. If you can create your own weapon of faith, what would that look like? Create your own weapon in your mind and label it as faith. And just like some of us, we got pistols. My kids is pistol packing people. And just like you put that gun on your hip every day, everywhere you go, or you put it in your car, you put it in your trunk, you don't even have to fight with that. If you fight with your weapon of faith, you won't even need that pistol. You won't need that clip. You won't need the bullets. You won't need none of that. But if you fight with the weapon of faith, so create a weapon in your own mind. Get yourself a pencil and a piece of paper and write it down. What would your weapon of faith look like? I'm going to create me a weapon of faith. And I want to take my weapon of faith with me everywhere I go, because that is what I want to use daily. Every single day of my life, that is what I want to use to fight against the battles that rise up against me daily. I want to use my weapon of faith. I want to. Not because I have to, because I'm tired. I got so much other stuff to do. I'm tired. I be doing other stuff. I don't have time to be out here arguing with somebody and telling somebody what they ain't gonna be doing and all this type of stuff. And I'd rather put my time and my energy into things that's going to help me, make me happy, be pleasing. God is going to show up for me and be God. I can't be God. Can't nobody play the role of God like God can. Can't nobody God like God. So I'm going to let God be God, and I'm going to use faith as a weapon. I'm so glad I wrote that down because I want to allow that to become my reality. So faith helps us move forward. It also helps us fight against things. Wait a minute. Faith helps us move forward. It also helps us get things done. So when sometimes we are just mentally exhausted, we are mentally drained, and we don't even feel like doing nothing. We don't even feel like doing nothing because we have continued these external wars and fighting all these battles and all this stuff. When if we apply our faith in our life, faith will help us move forward, and faith will help us get things done. And I can personally attest to that as well. So believe you can, and you will. And that is how I ended this message on faith. I do have a quote and a few affirmations that I want to leave you guys with. But woo, child, was that powerful or was that powerful? I think we all needed that. I know I did. I cannot speak for anyone else. I'm so glad that I did not rush through that message on faith. I hope that there was something that was said today as far as faith is concerned that allow you to open up your eyes to your faith and where you need your faith to be. I ain't preaching. I ain't nobody's preacher. I love to learn and I love to teach. And this is something that I needed for myself today. And God told me you're going to be obedient to delivering this message on faith. And because you need it, because I needed this message on faith. I cannot tell y'all how long I have been putting off a message on faith. Probably for at least about almost a year, because I did a message on hope, I did messages on love, I did messages on everything, but I refused to do a message on faith because of things that probably should not have even been a factor with me just talking myself out of delivering a message on faith. But it was timely, and I probably didn't deliver it before because this is the time that I needed it, and maybe someone else really needed a message on faith right now. So I hope it blessed you because it definitely blessed me. Big shout out to those of you who are here joining my live video. I appreciate your presence today. You got it first. You got it hot. You got it fresh. I hope you get something out of this message on faith. I hope that it helps you. I hope it gives you something to think about moving forward, about how to apply your faith, not only for those who are here right now, but for any of you who take time out to view these messages. Think about how you can apply faith into your life on the regular basis and how it might help your life. Try it and see what it does for you, and you may want to do it even more. So this is my quote, and I looked up quotes on faith, and I wrote down a quote from God. I wrote down a quote from God. So who is God? God is the creator of the earth. He is the ruler of the universe, the greatest entity in existence. Honestly, God cannot be explained or understood. He just can't. God is just way too much for us. Infinite, just ongoing. We can never, as human beings, we cannot wrap our minds around the fullness of God. I don't care what theologians say, how much you study or practice or wherever we try to understand God. The most important thing that we can do as far as God is concerned is make sure that we have our spiritual connection with God instead of trying to explain God, because God is unexplainable. But this is my my quote is broke down into 4 steps. So 1, this is from God. I will make a way for you. That is what God says. God says, I will make a way for you. 2, I am fighting your battles. I don't know how many times I said that during this message. This is not me, this is God. I am fighting your battles. 3, prayer is the best medicine. When you ain't feeling good, when you ain't feeling right, go ahead and say you a good old prayer, not just some kind of shallow prayer. Pray and pray and pray and pray and pray until you begin to feel the Spirit moving in your life. Prayer is the best medicine. And 4, trust my timing. That is God. That is God. Trust my time. Don't that sound like God? All 4 of those things, don't that sound like God? So I came across this during my study and I thought it was perfect. And I want you to be able to think about all of those things. That is a quote from God. 1, 2, 3, 4. I will make a way. I will make a way for you. I am fighting your battles. Prayer is the best medicine, and trust my timing. So that is a message from God. And my affirmations are, number 1, I want you to speak those things over yourself. Affirmations is so you can affirm these things to yourself and convince yourself that this is what you want for yourself. Even if this is not your reality, this is what you want for yourself. I release doubt and welcome faith. Say that. Say that to yourself. Say it in your mind. Repeat it in your mind. I release doubt and welcome faith. And that's what we all want to do. You want to release the spirit of doubt over your life, and you want to welcome faith into your life. And my second affirmation is God is always with me. And God is always with you. God is always with you. You are never alone. That is knowing what faith is. That is what my faith affirmation is. I want you to remind yourself, even in the toughest of times, remind yourself that God is always with you. So that is it, you guys. Listen, I love y'all. Thank you so much for being here, for listening to this message on faith, for supporting me, for showing your love to me. A lot of y'all called me and checked up on me and sent me text messages and continue to check on me, knowing that I am going through what I have to go through right now. Yes, I have some healing to do. I open myself up to healing as I try to wrap my mind around the fact that I will never see my son's father again, not here on earth, and just realize the fact that he is with me in spirit, and I always keep a place for him in my heart. But some of y'all just showed me some mad love. Like, I love y'all for that. Thank you for your outpouring of love, for your compassion, for your kind words, for your prayers, and all of those things, for support of me and my son's father, and also for his family and friends that are going through. He's very young. I know my son's father was only a few years, not that much older than me, and I'm almost 44, Lord willing. I will see 44 years old in a few months. But for whatever reason, his life was cut short. We want to be mindful of our own walk through life. We don't want our lives to be cut short. That's why I express the importance of prioritizing yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, taking time out to do the things that you have to do for yourself. I not only teach these things to you guys, I take care of myself in these ways. I don't tell y'all nothing that I don't do myself. Mental health, I take care of myself mentally. I take care of myself emotionally. I try to keep a connection with God. I take care of myself financially. I try to do everything that I need to do to take care of myself in every way possible. And I prioritize these things. I have not always done that, but I do these things now, and it is very important. Too many lives are being cut short younger and younger. It seems like unnecessarily people are dying at young ages for ailments and diseases that you have only heard of older people dying at, and that was the case with my son's father as well. You know, he got sick and passed away. And I think we should do whatever that we need to do to ensure a healthier, better quality of life for ourselves. So if that means taking care of yourself mentally, whatever you have to do for yourself mentally, it's all going to start in your mind. That's why I talk about mental health so much. That's why I've been focusing on taking care of myself mentally. I don't only say those things to you guys, I do those things as well. So it is important. Take care of yourself. Do the things that you have to do for you. God bless you. I love you. Real quick, don't forget my YouTube channel. I got so many subscribers over the past couple of days. I'm so grateful for the amount of subscribers that I have, but I'm so close to having 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. If you have already subscribed, thank you so much for supporting me in that way. If not, my YouTube channel is True Value Knowing Your Worth on YouTube, which also is the name of my first book, True Value Knowing Your Worth. My books are available and on sale on Amazon if you want to check those books out. True Value Knowing Your Worth, Walk in Treasure, Discover Your Hidden Treasure, Feed Your Soul, Your Personal Guide to Health and Wellness, and Walking and Religiously, and that is taking a closer look at spirituality and religion. I hope I broke those down right, but if not, search my author page. My name is Sakara Bay. You can go to Amazon, search up my name, and it will give you my author page. Even if you choose not to purchase one of those books, you can look more into what my self-help books consist of. I appreciate you guys. I love you. Thank you so much. You can drop me some stars. You can drop me some hearts. You can drop me some love, your comments, your kind words, your time, your attention. All of those things mean so much to me. I am so grateful for y'all. I probably can't even explain it in words. You do not have to do what you do. You don't have to take your time out to be here. You could be doing something else with your time, but all in all, I wanted to help you. I want you to get something out of it. I don't think that this is for me. I'm doing it so it can help you. So you should be glad that you are taking time out to listen to messages like this. You are literally doing something for yourself. You are helping yourself when you are allowing yourself to be fed in this way. So God bless you. I love you. We got some perfect weather coming up. Real quick, I am going on vacation. You probably won't see me for about 2 weeks. I won't be on here delivering life lessons. Next week, I won't be on here for a life lesson next week. You'll probably see me here on Friday for a powerful motivational message Friday morning, and that will be the last time you will see me in this manner as far as delivering motivational messages is concerned, for at least the next 2 weeks, I want to say, give or take. But I'll be thinking of you guys. If I can motivate you in any kind of way, I will. But listen, you can always go back to my YouTube channel or to my social media platforms. I do have some messages on Instagram. I have messages on Facebook. Check me out on YouTube. And if you need some powerful, quick motivation, is all type of motivation going on those channels. God bless you guys. I love you. Take care of yourself. Enjoy your life. I was going to say enjoy this day, but I want you to enjoy your life. Take it step by step, moment by moment, hour by hour, second by second. Do whatever you have to do to ensure yourself some kind of greatness in your life for yourself, because you deserve to live a good life. A lot of us out here, we do any and everything for everybody else, and we don't take time out enough to do the necessary things that we need to do for ourselves. So I want you to prioritize yourself today. Do the things that you have to do for yourself, not only today, but always. God bless you. I love you. In the meantime, you guys continue to stay blessed.